Ranger Theo was driving around the nature reserve counting all the animals when he noticed something strange in the distance. At first he thought he was looking at a giant bird, but as he grabbed his binoculars and looked again, he realized it was something entirely different. His eyes widened as he realized one of the baby elephants was sitting high up in a tree. His eyes followed the tree down to the ground and saw a group of elephants desperately trying to reach the baby elephant with their trunks, but none of them could reach it. Ranger Theo knew he had to act fast, or else it could end very badly for the baby. He started his Jeep and quickly drove closer to the tree. He had to make sure none of the adult elephants saw him, as they were already very stressed out. Even though the animals lived in a nature reserve, they were still wild animals with unpredictable behavior. One wrong move from Theo, and he could be trampled to death, and that was the last thing he wanted, as you could imagine. So he drove closer and closer and parked his Jeep behind a bush. Then he got out and hid only a few meters away from the elephants. He looked at the baby elephant again through his binoculars and noticed how still it was sitting. It was probably frozen in fear, as elephants aren't used to being so high off the ground.
But before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for more amazing stories.
Ranger Theo knew he had to do something, but what? The other elephants surrounding the tree made it impossible for him to come any closer. He had to think of a plan to lure them away. He couldn't use loud noises like banging on drums, as he didn't want to risk scaring the baby elephant. Falling from such a height would cause a lot of injuries to the calf. He decided to wait until nightfall. In the dark, their vision is restricted, so that would be the perfect time to sneak closer. He waited in his Jeep and observed the elephants until the sun began to set. Their interest in the baby increased with every minute, which was a bit strange, as a mother elephant would never leave her child behind. It was also hard to figure out who the mother elephant was exactly. They all seemed to be equally interested in the calf. There wasn't one elephant who was trying harder than the others. But then again, at this point, none of them were actually trying to get the calf down at all anymore. Ranger Theo wondered why that would be. Eventually, the elephants seemed to lose all interest. They probably realized that the calf could not come down on its own, and that they could not get it down either. A mother elephant abandoning her baby is not often seen, but in some situations the mother elephant has no other choice, and this was such a situation. Theo sighed as he realized he could be too late now. When all the elephants were gone, he slowly and quietly sneaked up to the tree. He was still trying his best not to be seen by the baby elephant. As he stood at the bottom of the tree and looked up, he noticed how high the baby elephant actually was. How on earth did it get all the way up there, Theo thought. He decided there was no time to lose and began to climb up the tree. Or at least he tried, because his hands kept slipping away. After falling to the ground 2 or 3 times, he thought of something else. It was a little bit more risky, as it could scare the calf, but Ranger Theo figured he had to try. So he quietly ran to his Jeep and drove it slowly toward the tree while keeping the lights off. The sun was beginning to set, so he didn't want to confuse the calf with his headlights. He slowly maneuvered his Jeep as close to the tree as possible. Once at the bottom of the tree again, Ranger Theo turned off the car and climbed on top of its roof. He could feel the rope's texture beneath his gloves, each strand offering a promise of safety. Slowly, methodically, Theo began his approach. Every step was a victory against his own fears. The vast expanse beneath him was still there, but it became less intimidating with every inch he moved. He was getting closer, both to the calf and to conquering his deepest fears. Gripping the calf's surroundings with one hand, Theo fumbled for his radio with the other. The cold metallic device felt reassuringly solid. He pressed the button, voice strained but clear. "This is Ranger Theo. I need immediate assistance." The vastness of the forest around him amplified the silence that followed, making him acutely aware of his isolation. "Copy, Ranger." Coming your way, the words, though garbled, were music to Theo's ears. There was the glow of headlights, piercing the dusk, drawing nearer. His heart swelled with gratitude and anticipation. Help was finally at hand, and with it, a chance to bring the calf to safety. Their familiar uniforms, the badges of honor, and determined faces, these were his comrades, his brothers and sisters in arms. Their presence reignited a hope that had been waning, restoring strength to his weary heart. Moments later, the silhouette of specialized equipment became discernible. Winches, pulleys, and sturdy ropes, tools designed for just such emergencies. The Rangers worked with precision, briefing Theo on their approach and ensuring he knew every step. Their commitment and preparedness infused him with renewed confidence. The scene below transformed into a well-oiled machine. Rangers moved in synchrony, their actions guided by years of training and a singular goal: the safe retrieval of Theo and the calf. Communication was key, with each member playing a crucial role. The calf's feet gently touched the ground, a soft thud echoing the collective sigh of relief from the Rangers. Hands reached out, steadying the drowsy creature. Theo, however, couldn't shake a gnawing feeling in his stomach. As he studied the calf, it wasn't just gratitude he felt, but a growing suspicion that things weren't as they seemed. Crouching beside the calf, Theo scrutinized its every move. Even with the effects of the tranquilizer, the animal's composure was striking. It gazed back at him, eyes deep and knowing, absent of the expected fear. For a creature that had just undergone such a traumatic experience, its serenity was perplexing. He felt the rhythmic rise and fall of the animal's breathing. As his hands glided over the creature, searching for potential injuries, he encountered an unexpected bump. The smoothness gave way to a distinct line, a curve that didn't fit the natural contours of an elephant calf. His fingers, driven by curiosity, traced this unfamiliar line, finally settling on a cold, metallic texture. As he investigated further, his experienced touch discerned the unmistakable feel of a zipper. This zipper, expertly concealed among the natural folds of the calf's skin, was so masterfully hidden that anyone less observant might have missed it. But not Theo. The discovery sent a jolt of surprise through him. The vast savanna had presented Theo with countless mysteries, but none quite like this. His heart raced and his mind whirred with questions. Why was there a zipper on this creature? What was its purpose? Had they mistaken this situation from the very start? Gently gripping the zipper's tab, they began to pull downward, slowly revealing what lay beneath. Instead of the anatomy of an elephant calf, they saw the familiar contours of human limbs. Layers of padding and fabric gave way, and a human figure emerged from the disguise. In a startling twist during a nocturnal rescue mission, Rangers stumbled upon a man, flushed and sheepish, concealed within a calf suit. The man was none other than Alex, a respected wildlife researcher, now caught in a bizarre and precarious situation. His unexpected presence, revealed under the night's shadowy veil, prompted gasps and a mix of relief and embarrassment from both him and the Rangers. This incident turned a routine operation into an unforgettable saga of dedication gone awry. As the story unfolds, readers are left on the edge, eager to learn how Alex's well-intentioned research led to this dramatic and unforeseen predicament, promising intrigue and a heartfelt exploration of passion and the unpredictability of nature. Alex's objective was simple in theory but challenging in execution: to observe the dynamics of elephant herds without disturbing their natural behavior. The suit ensured he blended in. However, the wild is unpredictable. One day he found himself separated from the herd he was shadowing and, due to unforeseen circumstances, trapped high above the ground, vulnerable and disoriented. Nature's unpredictability, combined with some miscalculations, led Alex down a path he hadn't envisioned. An unexpected encounter with a rival elephant herd, territorial disputes, and a river's fast current had forced him to seek refuge in the trees. What was meant to be a short respite turned into a long ordeal, and the suit became more of a trap than a shield. Taking a deep breath, Alex locked eyes with Theo. It wasn't just about observation, he said earnestly. Behind this mission was a larger goal: to understand elephant behavior deeply and to aid in their conservation. The suit was an unconventional method, yes, but born out of desperation to make a real difference. He hoped, with a fervent plea in his eyes, that they could see the sincerity behind his actions. In the dim light of their camp, the Rangers huddled together, discussing Alex's revelation. The line between trespassing and genuine research intent blurred. They weighed the importance of maintaining the reserve's integrity against the larger canvas of animal conservation. Every voice carried a different note, but the melody was clear: they needed to ensure the park's safety while respecting genuine research efforts. One by one, they began to see the larger picture. The devastating effects of poaching, habitat loss, and human encroachment on elephant populations were all too familiar to them. If Alex's research could provide valuable insights to aid conservation, shouldn't they support it? Still, reservations lingered. They recognized the potential benefits, but the means to achieve them were unorthodox, to say the least. A middle ground emerged from their deliberations. Alex would be allowed to continue his research, but with certain conditions. Regular check-ins, sharing of his observations, and ensuring no harm came to the animals or the reserve's ecology were part of the agreement. The relationship was delicate, built on trust, but both parties saw the potential for collaboration in their shared goals. For the Rangers, it was an eye-opener to the lengths some would go for conservation, redefining their understanding of commitment. Alex, on the other hand, realized the weight of responsibility that came with his work and the importance of communication and collaboration. The night had been an unexpected teacher for them all. The first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, its gentle glow illuminating the vast expanse of the reserve. Birds chirped their morning melodies, and the distant trumpets of elephants resonated, signaling a new day. As the sun began its ascent, it cast a light not only on the breathtaking beauty of the reserve but on the newly forged alliance, teeming with possibilities.